continuing our Peyton Watson conversation and kind of moving more towards the Blazers. Look, I was laughing with some YouTubers earlier on today and chatting about the board behind me, which I will update here in a moment after this conversation, just to prove a point. Look, man, there are times that I have kind of followed Joe Cronin in what he's doing and kind of understood a little bit of the pathway. But how many times am I going to be told that the Blazers are in on a player and not get them? And the one time I'm not told the Blazers are in on a player is the one they get in Ja Morant.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Too damn much.
Yeah, I'm real tired.
Keep digging.
And I'm just curious, when does this get to the point where we start questioning Joe as a GM, if I'm just being honest?
Look, honestly, we should be questioning Joe as a GM for a long time. Like, this isn't the one that should be you making it teeter back and forth. Like, now I can't trust this guy. Like, it should have been the whole time. The Norman Powell trade, let's go back and look at that. Nothing. CJ McCollum, what'd they get for him? Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Like, that's the thing.
But Damian Lillard was a good haul, and it turned into Denny Avdia and Tumani Kamara.
Right, and that's what everyone goes to, but there's been a lot of missteps as well. And now it made me go back to just like, hey, who did he learn from? He learned from Neil O'Shea.
And if this team doesn't win, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you brought Dame back and you got off unfavorable contracts if the team doesn't do good.
Right.
Because then the team that you're assembling isn't worth assembling.
The tough part is the Blazers have some momentum from last season, right?
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Like being the 7th seed, they lose to the Spurs in the first round, but I thought they put up a good fight against the Spurs, who win the Western Conference.
I think if you find diehard NBA fans too, I think they think Mike Nori is a good hire.
I think
is a really good hire.
Look, I think going into it when they were looking for a coach, Mike Nori was at the top of my list. Like, and that's the guy that I wanted. I was like, man, this is like a guy that could actually boom, and it could be a really good coach. And they got him on a 1-year deal where he has to prove it. Like, I think that's great.
I know everybody loves Tiago.
They got me all wet.
But I'll take Mike Nori without a doubt.
1,000,000%.
I'll let the chips fall where they may.
Nobody was crying for Tiago when the Blazers were not good until they won a game in the playoffs. It's like, oh, he's the greatest coach ever. Get out of here with that.
I do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may.
Again, the best player in the league had to fall on his face for that to happen.
That is true. You have a list of the players that the Blazers were in on that did not get. I'd love to hear this.
Yeah, so I went back to 2010. We could go back earlier, but O'Shea was hired 2012.
Okay.
So to that extent, I asked ChatGPT for guys that the Blazers almost got or were showing interest in. I'll name a few of them. Jordan Farmar back in the day, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, Omar Ashik, Spencer Hawes, Greg Monroe, Vince Carter, Lance Stevenson, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeAndre Jordan, DeMar DeRozan, Al Horford, Dwight Howard again, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, LaMarcus again, DeAndre Jordan again, Jimmy Butler, Kevin Love, Enes Kanter, who the Blazers ended up getting, Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin again, Aaron Gordon, JaVale McGee, Ben Simmons, Miles Turner, OG Anunoby, John Collins, DeAndre Ayton, Miles Turner, Bam Adebayo, Pascal Siakam, Jeremy Grant, Malcolm Brogdon, Trey Murphy back in 2025, add him to this season as well, Giannis, LaMelo, Jaylen Brown, Trey Murphy again, Peyton Watson, and Aaron Gordon again. The Blazers, there were all articles written that said the Blazers have interest in this guy. The Blazers are going after this guy. You know who they acquired? None of those guys.
Enes Kanter Freedom, excuse me.
Right.
Carmelo Anthony, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton. Those are the only ones they grabbed, correct?
Yes, but the Carmelo one was back in 2017 when he went to Oklahoma City.
That's when he was going to get bounced from the league.
So then I'm going to take him off that.
He was on New York, went to OKC, Portland was in.
So then it's...
Was that before or after he went to Houston?
He went to Houston after OKC.
Okay, that's
yeah, I think it went New York, OKC, and then he played for Houston for like 10 games.
Yeah.
So DeAndre Ayton...
They ended up getting DeAndre Ayton.
Which was just an awesome time here in Portland.
Right. They ended up getting him, but they had interest in him before.
Enes Kanter, who I only remember because he's the first guy to hug Dame when he hits the shot.
Right. Tell you what, I will say.
And he couldn't go to Toronto because Interpol would have arrested him.
Look, Enes Freedom, future WNBA star, by the way. He had a great series against, that's right, point everywhere, everybody, point. He had a great series against Denver in that Western Conference semis.
He did.
He was great.
He was a good player for a long time.
He was solid. He can't guard pick and roll. I still think Asia Wilson can score on him. Dude, Asia's going to cook him in the pick and roll.
Give him 15 and 10.
Dude, the pick and roll, he sucks in. But having said that, look, the Blazers they're known for this. I mean, this is a Neil O'Shea playbook 101. Dude, I'm going to go out. I'm going to try to sign all these guys. I went back and I'm listening to some old Neil O'Shea stuff, and he says the same things over and over. It's just like, we're going to make moves. We're going to try to win. And then you end up getting Eric Maynor. And then you end up getting guys on the fringes. Get Mo Harkless. Get Al Farouk Aminu. Awesome. Great. like, so the whole Peyton Watson not getting him, it's not a big deal. Like, missing on Peyton Watson, I don't think that's a huge deal.
I don't either.
I think it's a huge deal that now they're out there reporting again. Oh, Shams is out there saying the Blazers had interest in him.
It's just another one.
It's the same old playbook every year. And that's what bothers me is like, look, if you're going to go get someone, go get someone. But if you don't get them, it doesn't mean I have to have your agents put it out there, or I don't have Joe Cronin telling Shams to say, hey, we wanted him. We get it. You want everybody.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 15 different times. You're just being me.
That's the thing. And so to your point, Patrick, it's like, should we be judging Joe Cronin? Yeah, we should be. Make a move, man. Go for it. I'd love the John Moran trade. There's no risk in that. Like, getting Ja on this team, no risk to it. You traded Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. They're whatever players. But then you make no other moves. This is what you're rolling with? Like, this is what you're going to put your hat on? That is Neil O'Shea playbook 101.
Micah Potter? That's the answer?
Stop.
Brandon Carlson?
Stop.
Those are the answers?
John Tonje. John, you watch out. John Tonje?
Jeremy Sohan?
This is what exactly. This is Neil O'Shea playbook 101, and Blazer fans fall for it every single time, and then they want to defend Joe Cronin. And I defend Joe Cronin at the same time. He also has got to make some moves, man. He's under a lot of pressure. If the Blazers don't make any improvement and they're out in the first round, if they're a 7 seed, they're an 8 seed, they're in the play-in, dude, get him out of here.
I think what's really difficult is the rhetoric. It's the aesthetic of it. It's the we're going to go in so hard it hurts. It's we're going to make deals. We're going to make splashes. We're going to make this team better. And then when I try to put my realistic glasses on, when I think about, like, why did this Peyton Watson deal not fall through? For 2 reasons. One, you wanted to hold on to that first-round pick that Cleveland offered, or Los Angeles offered. I can't remember who ends up, where the picks go. Right. I can look that up in a minute. But you didn't want it, so you held that draft pick too close to you, or you didn't want to sign the guy to an $88 million extension. You can't sit here and tell me you want to be aggressive and then hold back on all these assets, quote unquote, that the Blazers are kind of flush with. But then at the same time, those assets, when you do use them, get me players that are fringe starters.
Look, the OG
in the draft, you know what I mean? Like, DC is going to be a nice player. I think DC is going to be a very, very nice player. Donovan Clingan is my favorite player on the Blazers right now. I don't know why, I just like the big guy.
Yeah.
But the other draft picks, I'm just kind of like,
Clingan also shot 30% against the Spurs.
Yeah, he was exposed massively.
He's 7'2". Seems like he should be a matchup against Wemby. They put Drew Holiday on him. He couldn't guard him.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. I love Clingan. I'm with you. I think he's a big part of the future. He's not the end-all, the be-all. When the Blazers, a couple years ago, when they drafted Shaedon Sharpe, it was real that they were exploring an OG and an Obi trade. Guess who would have fit in perfectly with Damian Lillard?
OG and Anobi.
What did we just see with OG and Jalen Brunson? OG is the 3rd, 4th best player on the team. Now, look, if OG is your second guy, that's a little different. But you have Damian Lillard, who is Jalen Brunson-like. Go get a guy who's 6'8", 6'9", built like just a house, can shoot, can run, can play defense, do all this stuff. But no, you go get Shaedon Sharpe. Then you go give him a contract. I love Shaedon Sharpe. I thought he'd be great. I was wrong about it. He's not. He's not great.
Bring me Scotty Barnes.
Bring
me Scotty Barnes.
Or Pascal Siakam.
Or change your rhetoric. Change your rhetoric of, like, it's difficult here in Portland.
Right.
We have to be very smart about how we do stuff. You want to talk to me that way? Look, when I talk to Ned Grabavoy, the GM of the Timbers, he talks that way. He's kind of like, look, man, the MLS is a weird place. DPs are all over the place. Visas and all that comes with it. Like, I got so much to juggle here, and it's very complicated. Ned Grabavoy is not telling me, we're going to go get Erling Haaland, and you better believe you're going to love it.
Time to get Bob Lewandowski.
Yeah, and then goes and gets me Vincent Janssen, which I'm really excited about, and I think he adds a nice step to the Timbers team. But you can't tell me you're going to go get Lewandowski and Erling Haaland. You're going to go get Miles Bridges.
Diego Luna.
Yeah, you can't tell me that you're going to go get Giannis and then end up with, Micah Potter. Like,
you also can't tell me that it's so hard to attract free agents to Portland and then never make a trade for a big player. You can't tell me that.
The Jaylen Brown thing, dude.
Like, if it's so hard to...
Free agents are so difficult to bring here on contracts because the deals are just better elsewhere.
You have
to make a
You have to make a trade. You have to make a trade, and they never do. They always go back, it's hard to get guys to Portland. Make a deal.
You could have offered
Take a risk.
You could have offered a better package to Boston than what Philly did.
1,000,000%.
It's not even close. Because Brad Stevens is up there talking about how you can't have 2 players be 70% of your books. Well, they traded for Paul George because it's 1 less year. How about I give you all these assets and 2 kids? If I'm Brad Stevens, I'm taking that. because then I can flip it for a Peyton Watson or a Trey Murphy III and then bring in other guys. It's the scared. It's playing scared that I think is a very, very dangerous thing. And when you're a small market in any sport, outside of maybe the NFL, because no small markets exist in the NFL, you have to go for it.
And it's tough.
And you're going to have to overpay.
It's hard because it's the Neil Shea playbook that works because, look, Portland is such a good fan base. And we've talked about this with the whole Moda Center renovations, how Portland can't lose the Blazers because it's so big and the fans are great. And that is 100% true.
100%.
We get excited when the Blazers are the 7th seed and they're in the playoffs and the place is rocking. It's exciting. And so GMs can shoot for that. Joe Cronin learned, hey, Neil O'Shea did that. He's just going to play around the edges. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to be fine.
But we also get mad that a two-way player named Caleb Love didn't get a full deal and is now playing somewhere else.
And Trendon Watford, Jabari Walker.
Yeah, put his jersey in the rafters. Like, come on. And to Danny's point, like, kids these days are like, oh, LaMarcus wasn't that good. It's like, LaMarcus was awesome. And what did O'Shea do? Let him go.
Yep. It's hard. It's the same old story that I've seen for 20 plus years now.
That's why I'm a Pacers fan.
I'm switching allegiances.
Who's your new team? Who'd you pick? See, I grew up a Pacer fan because Reggie's my favorite player of all time.
All right.
And I lived in Spokane, so there was no Sonics or Blazer love. But then I moved here in '97 and I picked up the Blazers. And once Reggie retired, I've been a Blazer fan.
It's hard to be like, oh yeah, I'd be a Wemby fan and a Spurs fan, but the Spurs are run so well, and the way they're building their team is incredible. Mm-hmm. Around Wemby, it's incredible what they're doing.
Again, I was a Knicks fan, and then they blackballed my favorate player from the league.
I was a Rockets fan back in the day.
Jeremy Lin? Jeremy Lin's your favorite player of all time?
I'm on Shumpert.
Charles Oakley.
Oh. Oh, I like Charles Oakley, although I hated him as a player. Pacers, Knicks.
Right.
And this 00 on my jersey. I don't stand for Scoot.
Wait, so are we changing that to 0 or what?
No, I don't think it's bad news. I think it's business as usual.
All right.
I think it'd be bad news if Joe Cronin got a 5-year extension.
We should change it to days since the Blazers do something new.
Days since Blazers do something new. We'll think about that in the break. When we come back, a little more college football, but also how it affects the NFL or vice versa. There's Casey with sports.